like page 4 and I'm already giggling to myself. It's a good start.
Hi, Lexi, you missed me?
Got a shot for the vlog.
Good job, good job.
Here's a kitty for you. Hi, Eloise. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid, guys. I'm so sorry. Hi, welcome to this new reading vlog, NYC style. I'm Daphne. Thank you for coming to my channel. In this vlog, I'm gonna be prioritizing 2 books. I am almost halfway through The Crown of Gilded Bones, and I definitely want to finish this in this vlog. Today is June 20th. It's actually my fiance Chase's birthday today. We're taking the day off for Juneteenth. And then I want to start Book Lovers by Emily Henry and finish this for this vlog as well. Typically in my vlogs so far, they've been kind of sporadic, but I want to organize these videos for you. So these are the books I will be reading instead of just like being in and out, like, am I reading? What am I reading? And then just reading this, you know. Let's be on the same page from the start. So these are the 2 books I am gonna read for this vlog. I hope you enjoy. If you don't know me, in these vlogs, I do enjoy showing parts of my life as well as what I'm reading and how I'm enjoying the books. So I'm going down to my parents' house this weekend. They're having a barbecue. I invited a handful of my friends to come down and just have a good time and enjoy the summer. So that should be in this vlog as well. I don't want to ramble for too long. I will catch you later. I wasn't planning on coming on camera, but it's like almost 11 and I decided to start Book Lovers by Emily Henry. If you don't know, this is a, we're gonna say women's fiction first, romance book second. That I'm saying that based off some of the things I've been hearing on Booktube about this, that it's not super romance heavy. So with my expectations set in that direction, I'm going into this book. I'm literally in the prologue on like page 4 and I'm already giggling to myself. I've giggled to myself like 4 times. It's a good start. I might as well give you a quick update on my reading with this. I'm like a little bit past halfway through. Poppy is in the New Kingdom. The status that she received that at first was questionable and is still being questioned, like people are out to basically assassinate her, is still like a thing. But the majority of the people, especially the Wolven, are in love with her. They are like worshiping the ground she walks on because of her bloodline and the things that we're starting to learn about her. There are still a lot of questions. Her powers have evolved to this point that people have never seen before, and it is just adding to her reputation in this positive way for the majority of the people in this kingdom. I really enjoy her relationship with Kieran and Delano and some of the other Wolven characters, and I'm really enjoying her relationship with Castile. They are madly in love, which you may think is a little boring, but like, it's steamy. This is the steamiest one in the series so far, and I'm eating it up. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy those scenes. That's the type of romance reader I am. Castile literally, along with everybody else, worships the ground she walks on. He's like, whatever you want to do, I'll follow you. Like, I'm here for you. I would die for you. You're my home. You're the only one for me. You're the most important person to me, which are like all the things you would expect, but like, he like barely wants to compromise. You know, he's just like, I'll just do what you want. You know, he's like 99.9% simp for Poppy, but we're here for it to a degree, even if it's a little like, dude, okay, we get it, you're in love. So yeah, that's this book. Good morning. I am getting a couple pages read of The Crown of Gilded Bones. I just got back from the gym and I have a meeting coming up. And I just wanted to say, Poppy has this big motivation of like trying to meet up with her brother to confirm if he was actually ascended or not, if she can get him out of the kingdom he's in right now. Does he want to be there? Does he know the truth? Like, she wants to know what the deal is with her brother, and that's like a big motivation for her to like move forward with some of these plans. And they're kind of rehashing it right now. They're like talking about it, and I'm thinking to myself, as a reader, it's kind of frustrating to have our main character's motivation be about finding someone that we know nothing about. Like, I've never met her brother. She's never been in a scene with the brother. There's hardly any flashbacks. There's maybe like a comment or two about her memories with her brother. But it's like, how am I supposed to care about him when he's not an active role in the story? He's just like, oh, my brother, my brother, my brother. But it's like, who is this guy? He's not even two-dimensional. He's like one-dimensional. He's just like a tiny plot point that's supposed to be like a major motivation, and I find that kind of frustrating. She talks about a lot of characters that we never meet. Like, obviously, like, her parents died and she talks about them a lot and we never met them, but at least we have the flashbacks of like that horrible night to like give them some depth, and then we're learning more about her parents, so I guess like sure. But with the brother, there's like hardly anything. And then she'll talk about her friend Tawny, and I'm like, okay, we haven't seen Tawny since the first book. And the way the author writes about it, it's like you're just supposed to remember, and these books are so freaking long. Like, I remember Tawny, obviously, but there are other characters she'll just like mention, and they were like barely involved in the story, and I'm just supposed to remember who they are. I find that really infuriating sometimes. So just wanted to mention that's bothering me. Today's also Thursday. It's my last day working for this week. I had a really short week. I didn't work on Monday, and I took off tomorrow. Because I'm gonna go down to my parents to help my mom prep for like the barbecue and stuff. That's gonna be on Saturday. I'm very excited. I'm gonna have a few friends come down, and it should be a good time.
Hi, Max, did you miss me? You miss me? Where's mommy?
Okay guys, I am home. I have been baking cookies. I'm gonna show you the cookies. Here's a kitty for you. Hi, Eloise. Hi, honey. Hi. You're so pretty. Okay, so I made these cookies and they're huge. This is my hand. Very, very large. So the second batch I made are smaller, and hopefully it comes out more reasonable. Hey guys, it's the next day. Here's my little fit. I got these new American Eagle shorts. They're still short, but they're less like booty shorts. I'm still gonna do my makeup, but I've just been helping my mom in the kitchen. I came upstairs to get my sunglasses because I kind of want to just sit outside, take a little bit of a break, because I've been standing in the kitchen like cutting and prepping and stuff for a couple hours now. And yeah, I just could use a break. And it's really nice outside. So I think I'm gonna sit and read for a short while and then get back to helping my mom. The potatoes, getting ready for the potato salad to put together. She covered a bunch of all the other food. Just the dog. Stuff getting ready to get set up. They got a new grill. There's my wonderful father for the vlog. I didn't get to read because my dad requested that I help him with some of the cooler stuff, which I'm not gonna tell him no. So we finished setting up the yard. Well, mostly, maybe like 90%. So yeah, let me just show you what the yard looks like. So this is coming out the kitchen door. People can sit on these things, so that's not a problem. We're gonna spread out these chairs. We moved this table here, we put this new umbrella in. We set up the grill on this side with the tables for food consumption. Rejigged this so people can walk by. Got this table over here. Another table down there. Cornhole out there. Then we make our way over to the driveway. We got the basketball hoop, so we'll probably move the cars if people want to shoot around. Thought a table here would be nice if people just want to like be involved. There's the hoop. Dad needs my help with the grill, setting up the grill. Mom wants me to show you the food stuff. Mom's working on the kebabs right now. She soaked the sticks because that's apparently what you need to do, and I didn't know that. I'm gonna help her with the jackfruit after I do the grill stuff. She's making like a pulled pork situation, which should be very delicious. I've had it from her before and she does a great job. This is all fruit salad, and then these are all the cookies I made yesterday.
Oh, are you videotaping?
Yeah.
Get a shot for the vlog.
The game is no hands, and Dad is exclusively using his hands. Dad, no hands! Dad's gonna kick this little girl. He got on his nose.
if Chase throws a C, it goes in the pot, and Rick wins. Pressure is on. Pressure is on. Come on, baby. Stop. Come on. Okay, it goes to Omar. It's Omar's turn. All right, Omar, don't roll a seat. Right.
The way you rolled all day, you deserve that one. Thank you. Absolutely. That was nonsense.
Good morning, friends. It's the next day after the barbecue. I tried to film some clips of everybody here, but honestly, I was pretty distracted because I was just having a great time. I was socializing with a bunch of my parents' friends, and then I was so ecstatic when my friends came. I'm so happy they made it down. Like, my heart is literally so full, and I just feel so blessed that I have good people in my life that want to come down, you know, a little bit out of their way to meet my family and just spend time with me. And yeah, I just feel super blessed. Dad, you want to come say what you thought of the barbecue? Okay, what did you think?
I had a great time, good turnout,
Yeah,
good family and friends, and that's what it's all about.
yeah. I'm glad you had a good time. You have a good time, Max? You were drunk from being so tired last night you could barely walk? Hi, so it's later in the day. I'm back home in New York City, and I've been reading Book Lovers. I'm about a quarter of the way through. So this book is about Nora Stevens and Charlie Lastra or something, but also it's about Nora's sister, Libby. Her sister is younger than her by a few years, and Nora's been feeling a little bit of a strain on their relationship. Her and her sister have always been really close. Nora is a book or a literary agent. Charlie works in that field as well. I think he's an editor. A couple years ago, she tried to pitch one of her clients' books to him. The book took place in Sunshine Falls, and Charlie, the editor, was like, this book is trash, A couple years go by, Nora's able to sell the book, and it's a massive hit. Her sister loves it, and her sister books them a long vacation to this small town because it's based on the book. They just want to reconnect as sisters and stuff. So that's the setting for this book, this small town. However, the small town isn't like the book at all. The book really romanticizes this town, and it's really not that way at all. So she runs into Charlie in that town in Sunshine Falls. I just found out that he's from there, he grew up there. That's part of the reason he didn't like her client's book, because it didn't really represent the town right, and maybe some other things that we'll discover. So I'm enjoying it so far. And also this book is very, I don't know if cheeky is the right word, I'm not British, but it's very like rom-com-y for sure. It takes it to like a whole nother level with the writing style of it trying to be like cutesy, funny, quirky, and I'm buying it. I'm here for it. It's cute, but you gotta be in the mood for it. It's not gonna be like a typical read. It definitely has that kind of unique style. I also did some more reading on The Crown of Gilded Bones. Things are picking up. I don't know what to say that won't spoil it. Just in general, like, I think the book is like really long-winded. I'm just like powering through it, you know. There are plot lines that I'm interested in. I like the status change of Poppy, that's been finalized, and they're going on more like adventure stuff, which I'm interested in. Though at times, like, obviously I know it's fantasy, so the author has to make stuff up, but it just feels like it comes out of left field, like these additional things that we find out that are important to the plot. But I'm almost done. I have about 150-ish pages left. I'll be finishing that in the next couple days, and it will be in this vlog for sure. That's all for now. I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones with Chase. Hey, quick update just to say, I can't stand Nora's sister Libby. She is so annoying. Just so inconsiderate, so selfish, just like, I'm just not vibing with her. Whatever. That's it. Good morning, friends. It is another day. I finished reading Book Lovers yesterday. The clip where I was like, oh, I'm 25% in, I ended up reading the last 75% of this book within 24 hours. I just flew through it. I ended up giving it 4 stars, maybe like a low 4, a high 3.75, but I like giving like rounded star ratings, so I ended up giving it 4. I definitely wouldn't say this is like enemies to lovers. Originally, I thought it was gonna be more enemies to lovers because of the way Nora kind of talks about Charlie, how they had a bad first encounter, but it's not like that at all. They actually have chemistry very early in the book, and the main plot conflict is between her and her sister. There's like a lot of secrets between them. She wants to be close with her sister again. That's why she's gone on this trip. But like her sister's hiding things from her and she doesn't know what's up. I wanted the book to be a little deeper. Like, it's trying, but I just never really felt like I wasn't reading a book. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't connect that deeply. Like with people we meet on vacation, I was so emotionally invested in the second half of this book, like so absorbed in their feelings and things like that. But for this one, it wasn't that way. There was just something missing. The magic that was in this was missing in this. But it was still fun enough. I really enjoyed, like I said, the 2 main characters, Nora and Charlie's chemistry. Like, they are just on fire, and it was adorable to read about. And the banter was fun as well. You have to be in the right mood for this for sure. Low 4 stars, a generous 4 stars. And then I'm not gonna go into it too much, but I am less than 100 pages out to the end of this book. And honestly, this morning, I was kind of feeling like I don't know if I can continue this series. It just feels like work to read it. I don't want to feel like obligated or like I'm struggling to read the books I pick up, because like, what's the point in that? Like, the plot is okay, but the books are way too long and it's just not fun enough to read for so long. And it's like, okay, if you're there for the romance, that's cool, but there are so many other better romances with better payoff than having to struggle through 600 plus pages for like inklings of romance and like minutia of steam. Like, if I wanted that romance kick that will give me all the endorphins I crave, I can go somewhere else that's gonna get to the point faster and have a more compelling plot that isn't this freaking long. For plot that takes forever to get through, it drags. It really, really drags. And like, I know people are saying like the last whatever 100 pages are gonna be like the thing that hooks you back in, but I just don't care that much. These 3 books should have been like 1.5. I don't know. I might even unhaul these. Let somebody else read them. You know, they're very popular, so if I put it in a little free library, someone will pick it up. Hopefully they pick up the whole set, because that's a pretty good steal if I leave all 3 of them. I think there are too many other books that I want to read to let this series continue to take up time when it's only okay. This will probably also be 3 stars, but like a generous 3 stars. That's all I have to say for this. I will wrap up this vlog when I finish this book, and I will catch you then. Hey, it is another day. I finished reading The Crown of Gilded Bones. I ended up skimming the last 50 pages of this book. Honestly, I was just over it. I was like, I just want this to be over. The issue with this book and the issue with this series that has really like solidified my decision on not continuing, it gives the kind of vibes where the author seems to just make things up as they go. If I was gonna give an analogy, it feels like when you're playing a game with a little kid, right? And you're like play fighting, and then you seem to win, right? You're like, oh, I beat you. And they're like, oh no, there's this other rule. You didn't win. And you're like, well, you didn't tell me about that rule. And then you're like, okay. So then you play and then you beat them again with that rule, and they're like, oh, but there's this other rule, like I actually have this extra bonus skill that I'm gonna add in. And it just keeps going like that, and you're like, I can't keep up with you. It just feels like it's based off nothing. you know? So that's how it felt in this book. So with Poppy in particular, her identity of who she was just kept changing and evolving, but it didn't feel believable because there was nothing as the reader for us to get invested in or like have like a scope of like reality. They would just be like, and even with the other characters too, you find out things about other characters and who they are and like what they are. It's just not like based on anything. Like, how am I supposed to be like, oh yeah, okay, like that makes sense, like, oh, maybe I could have seen that coming. But no, you can't see anything coming because it's just like randomly thrown in. So for example, and this is like mild spoilers, you have to just understand how the series works. For example, they would say, oh, an Atlantean can ascend a human into a vampire, right? But then they're like, oh, but a deity can ascend a mortal or a human into a vampire. And you'd be like, since when? Like, nobody said that until it was revealed that like, oh, you didn't know that so-and-so wasn't an ascended, they were actually a deity, and then when he ascended me, everybody thought I was a vampire, but because they didn't know he was a deity, but actually, I'm not a vampire, I'm something else. And you're like, oh, but actually, on second thought, he wasn't actually a deity, he was a god. So he ascended me, and I'm not gonna be a vampire or a deity, I'm gonna be ascended into a god because he was a god. And you're like, oh, this other god you thought was a god, he's actually a primal god. He's like before the god. So like his kid was a god when everybody thought he wasn't a god, they thought he was a deity. And you're just like, who wants to play that dance? I don't want to play that dance with like nonsense. And it's not like it's laid out where like it's foreshadowed. It's just like, oh, I'm the villain. I'm just gonna explain everything to you and just make up these new rules. And the thing also that's annoying is that when people are like, oh, I'm actually this being, people just take you at face value. And it's just so stupid. It's so stupid, guys. I'm so sorry. I did not like that at all. I was just like, this is just straight nonsense. How am I supposed to feel invested when I feel like I'm getting thrown around, like things can just change on a whim just because it's convenient? I don't like that. And it's even more infuriating because so much of the entire series is about, oh, what is Poppy? And it's just like on a whim, someone's gonna tell her, oh, I'm your mother and I'm a god because I was ascended by a god, so that makes you a god. And she's just like, okay, but like based on what? So I skimmed the last 50 pages. Like honestly, like I got the gist of where the next book was gonna go, and I just like skimmed it. I'm like, okay, she's pissed. So-and-so was taken. She got so-and-so to help her, you know, whatever, for 50 pages. I'm like, ugh. So I'm done with the book and the series for the most part. I ended up giving it 2 stars. I don't think I said. Anyway, I am going to end this vlog here. Sorry I had to end it on kind of a sour note, but I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and enjoyed this video overall. If you did enjoy, please give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you in another video. Bye.